We're on. Rolling. Ben, nice to meet you, Stags.
1, 2, 3. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Lovely to have you here, mate.
Is this it?
Sure.
Okay.
So I first came to the Fringe in 2014. I moved to London.
Whoa! Hello!
And I just knew about the Edinburgh Fringe, or a few people who I knew would kind of come. Whatever, I didn't really know what it was, so I just came sight unseen and just started going to people's shows and getting spots on their shows. And you can just get spots. I didn't know anyone, but eventually I was doing like 1 or 2 spots a day.
I'm gonna hug my son.
And then in 2017, I brought a show here for the first time, a full hour for the whole month, and it completely changed the way I see comedy in terms of like the fact that you can actually make money out of doing comedy. Come and see it, I'm really good, it's my flyer, I'm very funny. If you just put a good show on and perform it to people, they'll come and then they'll tell people, and you can have an audience for your shit. And I just had never experienced that before.
Ran down, she grabbed her, she's like, what the fuck did you say to me?
And then every year I come back, I kind of change a little bit of my approach to the Fringe and I get a different thing out of it, but it's been so important to me, and then it was gone for like 2 years.
It's off this year, the mayor has said.
I feel like it's been that important to everyone.
So I've been waiting for 3 years to return.
So this year I wanted to come and talk to a bunch of the people who I've met, or a bunch of the people who I've heard of, who have been around the Fringe for a long time, to see if everyone feels the same way about it as I do.
All right, I got a few questions for you. I'm sorry if I look at this. I'm trying to remember my questions. You look so thin. That'll be in the documentary.
You just press stop and then record again.
No introduction. I need no introduction. You're absolutely
So
right.
you're gonna have a little bit of name down the bottom. mate.
This is hilarious.
That's not politically correct, is it?
Are you on TikTok and shit?
That is good shit! Edinburgh! Motherfucker, we're here! Oh my god, I'm so excited to be back. 3 years. It's the first time they let me out of the country. I know what I'm gonna do, man. Something's gonna happen this month, you know? I'm half Colombian because my mum was backpacking in South America when she was 22. Came back to Australia, found out she was pregnant. That's me. Whoops. I used to know, like, I love knowing growing up that my mum fucked up worse than I ever could, you know? She had nothing on me. She'd, you know, tell me off for doing dumb shit, yell at me, like, Aidan, why do you make these stupid decisions? I was like, oh, what was that? Bareback backpacker? What was that, mate?
Hello, mate. Do you do just like printing? Oh my god. I just sent you a blank email. All right, Dragonfly. That is past Grass Market, I think. Yeah. So interesting. I wonder what different perspective you have versus my perspective on Edinburgh, because I have such very specific memories. Like, it's the biggest arts festival in the world. So I was like, this is such a unique moment in the history of the Fringe. It's coming back for the first time since COVID. What better time to film it and try and get an idea of what it is to show people? Oh, maybe you can take over to directing, because I'm going to do a couple interviews for the thing.
The way I look at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival opposed to any other Fringe Festival, it's a year of comedy condensed into a month.
There's no way of describing it. It's something you have to experience for yourself. And that's the beauty of it, but that's also the negative side of it as well. You have to experience it for yourself.
It's so big, it's so crazy. Telling people that it's like, yeah, you might see 5 shows in a day if you want, like you, and that's not crazy at all.
There were 2 people in my show at 3 p.m. and they were like, this is our 8th show of the Fringe.
What?
Yeah.
And it's like 2 days.
And they were like, yeah, man, 8 shows. You know, I was like, this is crazy.
If something doesn't make you laugh, yeah, you don't know what fucking, you know what I mean? Like, you can't laugh.
Like, there's something for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. You're a stone lady or something, you know what I mean? Like Medusa.
It's in every building, it's in every room of every building. Everyone who's in the city is there to do it.
There are so many art shows that are the extremes of like really good to really shit. Like literally anyone can put on a show.
You want ballet about race relations? Yeah. There's like 11 of those.
Yeah. We take suggestions from the audience on Shakespeare plays and then we improvise a puppet show.
If there's a hypnotist on at noon, I'm there, you better believe I am. and I'm fucking volunteering again. Get
I
it?
think but the way I describe it, it's like it's real annoying because there's so many people trying to be creative at the same time that it's like being at a fucking drama camp or whatever.
He's incredible.
As much as I hate to admit it, that kind of is the Edinburgh Fringe.
It is.
But if you're wondering what the Edinburgh Fringe is, like, unfortunately, it is that kind of right there.
we hate to let you know that this is the epitome of arts in the UK.
Sad to say it, but yeah.
I'd say it's an awful thing that happens to a poor, unsuspecting city in Scotland every year. If this many improv troops descended on a city outside of like a festival, it would be a national emergency.
It would be on the news.
It would be on the news. Yeah. There'd be martial law would be set in. People would be firing beanbag rounds off. But because it's just been happening for ages, I don't know, it doesn't.
I feel like I know more people here in Edinburgh in this second than I know in any other town in the world.
Yeah, that's true, right? It's like a little town that comes together for 1 month.
I've never done a Fringe where I haven't broken down crying, at least at one point. And I think everybody can relate.
It is a extreme emotional roller coaster. I mean, you feel every single emotion. There are so many people, so you go from like just every single type of person in the world is here.
Okay, we had a guy, we were just walking like on Saturday, we were like, let's see if anything happens.
Let's go. Bobby, get it in. Get in there. You know where you're going, right? Yeah. You're going to the grass market or Calgary.
I know where I'm going, bro. You're all good, man. And some guy just by himself started chatting.
I'm loving it.
Ride the high, baby.
Every single inch of it.
Bro, mate. And I put the mic in his face and he was like giving us a tour of Edinburgh, but he was drunk and it was just like chaotic. Tell us more.
It's the most beautiful city in Europe by far. The history, the architecture. Look at everything. Look at this. Look at these buildings. I live here. I moved here 8 months ago. Sorry, and I've fallen in love with the place. To tell you the truth, it's so visually pleasing, visually aesthetic. Is that the word that I should use?
Yeah. Hey, we might head off down the grass market, bro. Really nice to meet you.
Grass market's the best place for a night out. Good to meet you. What's your names? Ben.
Aidan.
Aidan Hash.
Nice one, Hash. I mean, we don't need to go down here, but I was just fucking didn't want to keep hanging out with my man, you know. So I'm probably having enough.
Who actually knows? How do you describe this to people? You know, you know civilians, right? When you say, oh, I'm going up to the Edinburgh Festival, people go, wow, that's amazing. Oh, that's so wonderful. I saw, you know, insert name of famous person in a 2,000-seater who was so funny. And they go, oh, really? I saw a bloke juggling spaghetti in front of 3 people. And they were Japanese. And nothing against people from Japan. I love you, Japan. You know, but, so it's a different thing. And you know what I mean, though, right? Because if you actually put it in real terms, you would go, well, I'm going to go up there for a month and I'm going to exhaust myself physically and emotionally. I probably won't be making any money. And sometimes it's going to be awful. Some days you're going to walk out of a venue at 1 o'clock in the morning with your hands aloft, completely sober, eyes like you've just done all the ecstasy in the world, thinking, I've actually completed comedy. And then the following day, oh my God, I'm the worst comedian in the world. I wish I wasn't here.
The BBC have really bad subtitles. There's this one scene, this guy turns to his mate and goes, aye, so, I fucking says to the guy, right, away and get your salty fuck, you wee fucking bastard. And the subtitle said, I advised him to leave.
This is how I roll. So I was dabbling with comedy since 2001, and we had the Welsh Comedy Awards, which we did ourselves, and we nominated ourselves for Best Comedy Club, so I could put award winning on the poster.
You beauty.
And I performed to like 4 people every night for the most part, and I would come and I go, I don't know what's going on, I have absolutely no idea why, but this is an award-winning comedy club. But hey, it's great, guys. And the award, which I didn't show them, was a can of Foster's, which I know Australians don't drink, I'm aware of that, with a kangaroo spray-painted yellow stuck on top of it, and a little thing we got engraved that said Best Comedy Club in the known universe.
Beautiful.
So that was it. But that was how it started. 2005, I think I was at Lindsay's Bar, which is that way. It was mainly postmen who used to drink there and were mildly resentful. And I worked out that if you kind of sat down on a stool and you shared your soul, that for some reason people liked it.
You know? When was your first one?
My first one, I just came, Sam Kistukin was coming, I just tagged along. I was doing a bit of couch living myself that year I was. Oh my Lord, did it humble me. But I come, and then I just love gigging, I like being on stage more, I like being off stage, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a comedy Graceland here, you can do like 14 spots a day. I mean, I broke the record. I mean, sorry to grow all this in. I mean, I can't believe you didn't even put it in the induction. I'm the king of the Fringe, right? I broke the record 2019, most gigs at the Edinburgh Fringe, 230 in 24 days.
Yeah.
So whatever.
You did 25 days, but you went to a wedding one.
I went to a wedding, I left the country, back to Liverpool, did a speech there, didn't even count it, because it weren't part of the Fringe. And boy, did I crush, I was riding high.
Does anyone here want to fuck me? I just came to get laid, really, to be honest. It's tough, innit? You know what I mean? I've had sex, I got the receipts to prove it and shit like that, but I never get any freebies or nothing. It's a prostitute joke, yeah.
I encourage you to go to improv and give the worst suggestions ever. It's so funny that, like, give me a character. Obviously, Bill Cosby's making an appearance in this sketch, isn't he? You know what I mean? I don't know what he's up to, but he's there, isn't he? Like, this one time, me and Brett Blake went. Shout out to him, and we just tethered them. They were literally like, can you start the timer? And we're doing 60 seconds on your phone. He was like, all right, and then he just wouldn't start it. He'd do like 3 minutes in this sketch. And he'd be like, he started, like, oh, I forgot, and he'd start, and then he got like, oh, someone else do it. Like, oh no, I've got it. And then just like 4 minutes, and it's just dying.
Do you know the first year I did it was the year Lady Diana died? Some guy in the joke competition tells a Princess Diana joke.
Yeah, wow.
And, like, I've never heard somebody get, like, violent silence.
Whoa,
like,
yeah.
Whoa. And, like, almost like the crowd elected a representative. They're like, we'd like him to apologize.
Wow.
And he was forced to then retake the stage.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't think that through. I'll go. But
Wow.
I'd like everyone to know I'm sorry.
Oh my
and
God.
a little rip.
Just like a fuck you. So that was a Canadian comic.
No. This was a guy.
Oh, it was a guy from the crowd.
This is a joke contest.
Oh, like they were from the audience.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah.
If you had to try and explain to someone what the Fringe is, who's never been, what are you trying to say?
I keep coming back because, like, this is heroin for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when it goes well, you know.
Yeah.
It's second to none. Imagine that you tell someone a joke and they laugh. It's a good feeling. Now imagine you say this joke to 100 people and they laugh. And imagine that joke isn't a joke you heard before, but it's a joke you came up with. That's the best feeling in comedy. Now imagine having the opportunity to do this 6 times a day for a month and make money out of it. You do it with a certain aplomb and finesse. You might even get sex that night.
Well, you get better. You get so much better. Doing an hour, and you never know what you're going to walk out. Like I was telling you before, like last night, first show, security ejected a man from my show. It's like you don't know what you're walking into every night. My favourite Fringe story is one of the years I was here, I was walking down the street and there was a guy dressed as a pirate. And his car was like parked behind him, like on the side of the street. And then he looked over and he'd gotten a parking ticket. And then he's like mid doing a pirate thing.
He's
looks
like in
over,
the middle of his act.
sees he's getting a parking ticket, and then he just breaks and he goes, fucking hell. And it's like, oh, he's not a pirate anymore.
So are you guys having a good Fringe? Yeah. Yes, you sound like it as well, which is terrific. What have you been getting flyed? Have people been flying you? Yeah, it's wild out there on the streets. I've been here since the start. It's getting more and more crazy. Like, you'll be walking down the street, someone just yells at you and they're like, do you hate Boris Johnson but love the music of Dua Lipa? And you're like, yeah, I do actually. It's like, do you want to see 3 disabled toddlers tell the story of Titanic? And you're like, once again, absolutely.
Hey mate, you should come and see my show. I'm very, very funny. Thanks, bros. Hey guys, you should come and see my show. I'm very, very funny.
We're busy just now.
We're 9:30. You busy? Boo.
You are a great Lara. But
very kind.
when I give a flyer to people, they go, sometimes I will stumble, like if you mumble the words, they go, what? And then you have to convince them to do stand-up. Come to my show, I'm doing stand-up comedy. What? I'm doing stand-up comedy. And I go, are you now? And I go, well, I think it's safe to assume you won't be coming.
You already think I'm a fucking idiot, yeah. I am feeling like a little bit sad right now. I don't know what, I think I'm feeling sad. This is the thing about the Fringe, man. Like, I feel like I haven't seen anyone today, really. And like, I'm seeing you now, but like, we're doing this. So it's like, it's social, but it's still not like fully social. It's so easy to just go, work, and just fucking all serious or whatever. Yeah, and like, I went and saw a show, but I went and saw it by myself. Yeah, I gotta find time to fucking see people,
Weirdly, it can be like the most time you hang out with friends and stuff, and also like a very lonely, because it's just everyone is so busy, and you're sort of like, it's a weird like out of time. I don't know. It feels like a school trip almost.
Yeah, so we're going to Counting House, meet a new flyer. There we are for you, and I got some cash for you. Nice one. Yeah, so it's been all right today. Had some people taking them and stuff.
Yeah, quite a few people saying they're coming.
Nice. Fuck yeah. No, the show yesterday was really good though, man. Yeah, had like, probably like 18 in, something like that for the first night. It was good. 70. So I'm hoping tonight we get, like, give that a nudge up to 40, 50 maybe would be kind of cool. We'll see. Well, we'll see how it goes. You guys coming to see me? That's me, mate. Yeah, come. Starts in like 15 minutes. That might be my crowd, mate. That's not bad, is it? I got a bunch of mates back in town who, like, in Adelaide, who, one of my mates went to jail for selling drugs, one of the dudes I grew up with. I know. I tell people that, and people go, oh, he wasn't a very good drug dealer then, was he, man? I'm like, you know what? You're an idiot. He was a great drug dealer. That's why he had to go to jail, If you're a bad drug dealer, you go out of business. Done. You got to be really on top of your stuff, doing well to get the attention of the police, They don't take losers to jail. It's like, what an achievement. And he's out now, and he owns a company selling solar panels, and he's doing really well because he learned how to do business in that competitive environment, right? No one's looking out for you. The cops find the new businessmen who are doing really well, and they take them away to jail, which is like an academy for young entrepreneurs, It's like Hogwarts, isn't it? They're doing Wingardium Staviosa down there. Some people go to big universities, London School of Economics, Edinburgh. My mate went to Yatala High Security Labour Prison. That's where he learned how to do it. Learned marketing from a guy named Biscuit, and he's out there. I've always done the Free Fringe in Edinburgh, but it's almost like there's two different festivals. There's like the Paid Fringe, which is shows where people buy tickets beforehand, like a traditional show. But then like maybe 20 years ago, this movement of the Free Fringe started where shows were free to get in and then you pay to get out. And it lowers the barrier of entry so many more people can come and enjoy shows. And then also if it's a good show, someone who's unknown can put on a great show and people will want to pay them money. You can really tell the difference between the people who are on the Free Fringe and the Paid Fringe based on what they're trying to get out of the festival.
I think the struggle of the free fringers, those hustlers who are doing, like the first year I did 125 shows in 25 days. 25 hours, 25 half hours. You lose your voice every year because you're giving it your all. You're hustling because nobody knows who the fuck you are. So you're trying to get that. So that's what it is. It's a grind.
Mm-hmm. You can either really like have a successful show or you can make money. That seems to be and I think some people go too far in one direction or the other. Like people who are paying like 10, 15 grand for a venue, I'm like, why?
Like I heard somebody was spending 30 grand this year.
This
year, and I was like, if I had 30 grand, I'll just quit comedy. Like I'm done. I'll pack it in.
Yeah.
Like
I'll buy a house, bro.
Like you have shut me up for good. Thank you. Yeah. It's like this year, like I'm definitely here to make money, but like the free festival, like you get to work with who you want, you get to do exactly what you want. Nobody's telling you what to do, and you have the possibility of making money.
Even the free venues have some rooms that shouldn't be rooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they charge the same amount of thing for everybody.
For the small room as the big room. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Because no one makes that much money. Like unless you're like a massive name, you're not gonna like make a year's salary doing it.
Would you go back? Would you do paid again?
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Man, having a sound guy there that you could play with, having like proper lighting,
Right.
having like a little backstage area, it was just so good.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Worth
just stuff
it.
that you don't get in the Free Fringe.
Personally, I still would say that stuff I wouldn't pay for, but I would hope that doing a paid Fringe venue would be like add legitimacy. Because I'm thinking about it.
It does, yeah.
There's so many people here and it's so hard to actually get any sense of who's good and who's bad.
Yeah. I think doing a show in the Free Fringe, you just get random people coming in sometimes. Like I remember last time when I did the show in 2018, I had this old lady who came like 4 days in a row and just sat up the back. She goes, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna give you notes each day. I did this bit where I was a cow at the start and she was like, I think your cow moves need to be more realistic. I think you need to go home and research the cow moves.
All right, New York City, it's good to fucking be here. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm in a good mood tonight for some reason, huh? Oh, you look beautiful, huh? Look at this, huh? This is nice. A chuckle pit tonight. Look at this. We got people fucking in the corner. This is no rats on the stage tonight. Very classy, you know.
What are you hoping to get out of this year?
It's a job, innit? I think it's like a great thing because it like enables me to feel like a comedian for a month, whereas most of the time I feel like, you know, a businessman, a podcaster, and I do so many things, and then like stand-up comedy is like a small part of that. And so actually come here and do like an hour every day is great, and I love doing that.
The difficult thing to make peace with is the fact that, you know, something you're doing right now will one day be considered dad shit. Because there is no greater memento mori than going on TikTok. That's what it's called. Going on TikTok and watching a teenager refer to the Arctic monkeys as classic rock. TikTok indeed! The relentless march of time comes for us all.
Within the first week of the festival, I got racially and homophobically abused by the audience. By the second week, I had full houses. That's the Fringe. It is wild, it is insane, it's fun, and people are nice as long as you're nice as well.
Straight men are good human beings, gay men terrible because they are lustful. They sleep with anyone they can. Homosexuals in a year sleeps with an average of 300 sexual partners. In their entire lifetime, 30,000. Straight people, good, honorable, kind. 8 sexual partners in their lifetime. And I'm like, that's so fucking sad. Because on average, we live to be about 80 years old. So if you have only 8 sexual partners, you have sex once every 10 years. Like a really shitty Halley's Comet going by the vagina.
What were you expecting the first year you came?
I just really wanted a 4-star review. Because that's the thing, when you're back in Asia, we don't have the sort of storied history of stand-up that the West has. So they don't really have star reviews. So I knew if I got a star review, I would have a leg up over everyone else back in Asia. So that was the main goal. This isn't a comedy festival. This is a business conference. I'm here to not make money now. I'm here to make connections, improve myself, and use that to make money down the line.
And it's one of the best ways to check in with the industry. So the industry, in the absence of any decent, easy way to collect data, is really reliant on this, because it's one of the only ways to smush everyone into one place and just collate information about who's even good, or who's working, or who's gone insane or not insane, or who knows. Yeah.
That's like the best explanation I've heard, to be honest. What I want to do now is count the money for my 3 p.m. show that I did today. It was great. It was a full room. So this is the cash. This already, I haven't even counted this, feels like it's going to be a fucking monster. I might make over £300 for this show, which is great because there were 45 people in the room. 275 plus the 277 pints. Not bad, hey? Starving Artist. Yeah, man, Starving Artist fucking rolling.
So it's like the less I knew, the better.
So what do you know now that you didn't know then?
Really learning like how much stake people put into it. No, you know, honestly, I wish I could go back to what I knew then, because like I was just so excited to be participating. Like, you know, because New York Comics, we get no stage time. So I was like, I get to run an hour, and like I didn't care if it was to 4 people, because like we go up to 4 people there. So I was like, I get to run an hour every day.
This festival for UK-based comics, the fucking pressure, the like reviews. People go nuts.
Yeah.
It's absurd to me.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm lucky to be treating this just like a fun comedy camp, you know,
Yeah.
where I can make money and whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think because agents say to you, oh, it's all about Edinburgh. You have a good Edinburgh, and then stuff comes from that. So then you come here, and then if you have a bad show, you go, well, I guess that's a year gone, and it's not the case, but it's like, it is talked about in that way. Yeah.
So you think it's a much bigger deal until you do it. And then ironically, as you go on, it becomes a bigger deal in terms of the actual implications. But you're like, oh, the fucking Fringe, dumb shit. And so I think 2013, I was like, wow, I'm actually going to the Edinburgh Fringe. I'm actually going to perform at this, you know, like international, you know, fulcrum of the comedy industry. And then I realized that I was in a basement.
A comic that was basically a Stuart Logan kind of like was sitting at me, and I was saying like, oh yeah, I've got to do this, I've got to prove to those people. And he was like, who are those people? And I was like, oh, just fighting imaginary comedians in my head. Just instant open micer going, you suck. And I was like, and I think after he said that this year, I'm coming in with a much cleaner, healthier mindset.
I got nominated for Best Show in the Melbourne Comedy Festival, but when the nominees came out, I knew I wasn't going to win because one of the other nominees was Hannah Gadsby's Nanette. So when the nominees came out, I got Barry Award winner 2017 tattooed on my arm, and then got winner crossed out and replaced with nominee. Anyway.
Sometimes in Melbourne I get very in my head about the ladder and trying to move up and improve in the standings of the scene or whatever, where here feels so low stakes in a great way that's like you go there, nobody knows or cares who you are, you just got to go into a room and be funny.
Do you still find that it's like that?
Annoyingly, there's now a second ladder over here. It's good to see a second group of people who are convinced they're the coolest to go like, oh cool, no one's
Yeah.
doing what they think they're doing.
Yeah, man, I've just noticed the second ladder.
Yeah.
I can see it more now.
I know, it's annoying.
I'm like starting to feel unhappy with my current position.
I know.
The worst.
Yeah.
It's hard. You've got to do so much shit to lose weight, though. You got to move and fucking eat different, and that's it. But it's hard. And I don't want to do it.
And like they review shows, they go on the website and they do it here, and like people have all their opinions about the stuff they've seen, which is like annoying when they don't like you necessarily, but it's great when they do because they'll
tell people.
They say it and they tell people
Yeah.
and people are interested to talk about it, and it's like an actual sort of cultural thing here, comedy, in a way that it isn't. It's less disposable to people here.
Nice.
I reckon.
And what are you trying to get out of coming here? Do you have an idea?
Can you cut when I say that to me telling just the worst joke you've ever heard? People really engage with it over here.
If I order food delivered that's just for me to eat, I'm the only person in the house, only I'm having it. The feeling of that food showing up and there being like 4 different forks in that bag is such a grim feeling. The fact that that food left the restaurant and someone there was like, that's for a family, definitely. There's no way that's for one man alone in bed. Yeah, he owns a table.
Oh, there's a lot of these spots that I'm doing here which I would not do at home.
Yeah. I would never hang out with the Australian version of you.
Yeah, exactly. We're like,
Yeah,
okay.
that's funny.
And a lot of like, I've done one gig and you're often like, okay, I'm the only female comedian on, and every single guy all in a row making jokes at the expense of women, or kind of like these creepy, like, I keep women locked up in my basement jokes. And you're like, I didn't realize how lucky I was to not be dealing with that very often.
Wow.
I mean, especially when you're like, okay, it's like 2 a.m. and I now have to like stand outside the venue alone waiting to get a cab.
Yeah. I really notice how few women I have interviewed for this because, I mean, I guess the Fringe magnifies everything, and it also magnifies the phenomenon of like any woman who is in any way funny gets like a bunch of other stuff. And so the women who I knew when I was living in London don't respond to my messages anymore because they got fucking better shit to do than my stupid documentary, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see what a fucking New York bagel with jalapenos like. Does look alright. Looks pretty good. That looks like pickle. What? No, man, that is pickle. Your man's talking shit. He said there was no pickle. He got my hopes down. And then he's put pickle in there. What if I take it back? So it's halfway through the Fringe. I expected I'd be more tired than this, to be honest. I've got a lot of spots. You know what, it does come, I guess we haven't really been around in a moment when I've just been fucking exhausted. But like, there have been a few of those moments where it's just like, I'm very exhausted, but I don't know, overall my energy level's pretty good. I don't drink, so yeah, it's not like I'm killing myself every night. I'm actually trying to be a bit more calm this year and take a moment for myself, you know, whatever, and not get like, but in years past, I'm like running down the mile, you know, running between spots.
This is why everyone hates Australians.
I know, man. I get too crazy about it.
We're too loud and disrespectful.
Yeah. Sometimes you tell people just how many shows there, and people are always surprised because they think, or even just how many you're doing, because they go, oh, it must be like a week, or you must be doing 2 or 3, and you go, no, I'm doing
like 4 a day, 5 a day.
I'm doing 24 of my own, plus, you know, I'm not even counting the other ones.
Yeah.
But you don't want to say that because then you start sounding insane.
People go like, why are you doing that?
Like, oh, you must be making so much money. Oh, no.
I'm actually losing money.
No, horrible. No.
But I get to move to London where I can lose more money.
I bomb so hard. This family of 4, this like 10-year-old kid who sat in the front, and he just goes, he hands me a 20. And he goes, don't worry, someday you'll find out you're good at something.
Oh, a 10-year-old kid.
Every country I go to, all the lefties, they come to my show and they're like, oh my God, that was cool. How did you win? Everywhere else, the lefties keep losing. Why do people on the left keep losing? And I'll tell you why we keep losing. It's because fundamentally, we are annoying. And you know this is true. We are annoying. We're correct. But in order to explain why we're correct, we talk. And every time we talk, we are annoying. And that can be confusing. Because people on the right are evil. But it turns out when voters have to choose between evil and annoying, they pick evil every goddamn time.
The thing about the Fringe is I can come here and I can make a bunch of new people watch my show. I can get my show better for the tours, and I can probably get 3 months rent, you know, minimum. And it's like, this is the month that I have, and I get to hang out with comics. Like when you're on the road, and if I'm in like freaking Graz, Austria, I love Graz, Austria, but after the show I'm like, hey, so any audience members want to hang out? Like,
totally. It's very lonely.
Yeah.
I've been saying that to audiences this week, man. I'm like, you know, I'm here with you guys, but we're not hanging out. I'm around people, but I'm alone still, you know? It's the strangest thing.
Literally a few months ago, I was in a competition, and he came up to me and he was like, I saw you, your first year, your first day. And I was like, no way, I remember you. And he was like, well, you still know that other lad? And I went, what, him? Paddy stood next to me. And then we were like, what the hell? And then he told Paddy, this is so funny, man, that Paddy came on, MC, died, brought me on, stank the place to another level. And he said behind the curtain, we didn't notice the whole one, you could just see Paddy's shadow like, like that.
I didn't know. Oh my God, that's so funny.
It's the toughest start to a festival I've had.
Really?
I think, but now I feel good and regret the tough start.
Tough in what sense?
Like my whole show is about us trying to have a baby, and I joke in it that I'm like, if I'm not funny enough, I can't have a baby, like I can't raise a kid, but that's what goes on in my head.
Thought that? Oh, you're crazy.
I am crazy. I was telling Kat, my wife, I was like going, yeah, I just sit there and think in my head like that joke I have, but I think it for real that if this joke doesn't go well, then blah, 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 like, as in I'll have a baby, but I'll have to quit comedy and blah, blah. And Kat went, you know, people laugh at that because it's not silly.
True. Yeah, wow.
But yeah, but that's all gone now. Just took a week to get our message.
Yeah, okay. Rice, £6.45.
So it's $8.40.
£3, yeah, exactly.
Fuck. Dude, everything in this fucking city wants to take more of your money than you're supposed to pay. From the landlord to the festival, like you just feel like you're being rinsed in Thailand.
You know that on Nicholson Street, there's like an old fish chippy
Yeah.
place?
Yeah.
I went in there and you know that when you just haven't eaten, you've done shows and shows and shows, and you're just like, I need some food. I went in, I saw the sausage with batter, and I saw the little bit of chicken kapora, $10.40.
Fuck. Oh.
And the guy said that, and I was like, what? I mean, and he was like, oh, I thought you meant the meal. I was like, oh, thank God. He was like, yeah, $9.60. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. That's too much. Sorry. That's a lot of money.
That's KFC.
Fucking pull the other one, man.
Fringe tax.
Are you glad that you came this year?
No, I'm absolutely neutral on it.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
Like, would I prefer to be in Sydney with my wife than here? Yes, like 100%. Like, are you insane? But like, have I got anything out of this? I don't know. I probably would have made more cash here than I would have made in Australia in the month of August.
Okay, so then why are you here?
I don't know. It was a moment of weakness. I was in a Perth hotel. Someone said they found accommodation. I was like, it's nice to see everyone. But like, to be a 33-year-old married man living with 5 other men in student accommodation, just like in like accommodation designed for students, like, and just kind of being in this weird, like, stressy headspace every day, like, that doesn't seem like the money better be good. You know what I mean? Like, when you're going through this much, the money better be good.
And it's fine.
And it's fine.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not good, it's fine.
It's fine.
That's fun. I'm actually married. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm married. I like telling people I'm married because they're surprised by that information. When I walked up here, no one was like, man, I bet he got locked down quick. You know, he seems like a catch.
I'm glad you didn't steal my idea.
What idea?
I remember when I told you that I was going to do a documentary, and I was like, don't steal my idea. And you were like, why the fuck would I fucking want to do a stupid documentary?
And here I am.
That made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah. It's like, wouldn't it be cool? I'm like, no. No one cares about this. Look at this guy.
Just so you know, Daniel Muggleton didn't get to the Fringe and then realise that he hated it. He's hated it the whole time.
The whole time. The whole time.
There's more important things than doing a month here. I think a month is too long. I think it affects people poorly.
I actually care about my mental health now, and that I think so many people view this as a grind. They've got to keep pushing, and I just don't give a shit anymore. And it means all of my shows have been great.
Like, I've been having fun on the show. Like, I've had a rough day. So, well, it's been, do you know what it is? It's that I've had every single fucking emotion that exists today. And I feel like that is what the definition of the Fringe is. I was at one ticket at 4 o'clock. 4:07. I was at one ticket for a 5 o'clock show at Gilded Balloon. I have an entire production team, flyering team. I have really good cred. Like, I've got a crap load of amazing reviews and just made it to 11.
11
That's
people.
it. 11 people in a 60-seater.
On a Saturday.
On a Saturday at 5 p.m. I just started crying.
You started crying because of the emotion.
Of the frustration. I'm like, I have a great show. And cumulatively, because I had 2 comps in today, cumulatively across the first 4 shows, I have sold less than 20 tickets.
Nice. How does that make you feel?
Like punching you in the fucking dick.
I'm sorry, man. That sucks.
But yeah, so I cried. I was crying proper tears, like proper tears, out of my face, wiping them, and then just went on stage, and the audience were 11 of the nicest people.
Yeah.
It was a really fun show. So I just went from like to like here. But then equally, I don't know, there are times that you feel like you're the only one who's struggling, which is obviously not true, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think every other show in the Gilded Balloon sold out today.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the
Well,
case.
it fucking feels like it.
I went to see Chris Gethard yesterday and he only had 40 in. He's huge. He's like a
Yeah.
big name. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
Thanks.
Pre-comedy for the award-winning Alabel here at 5:30. That is in half an hour.
Mate, we've got a full Scottish breakfast there. This is the best food that I've had in Edinburgh. I mean, it always is. I like when I eat something to be able to have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know? I feel like I'm a king, taking little parts of each little fucking thing. Oh, I'll have a little bit of haggis, like, oh yeah, not yeah. Oh, have a bit of the egg, yeah. Oh, a little bit of everything, mate. It will give you a heart attack, which is also a positive. How are you feeling 1 week left?
Way better, but I'm actually kind of nervous to see what this garbage strike's gonna do. Because I feel like it's also gonna fucking translate into emotions. As you see the garbage pile up on the streets, it's just like your mental headspace is just piling up with garbage.
That's true. When have they been striking? How long has
It's been 2 days.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
today's day 3 or something.
Because
But
I can see all of the how long's it going for?
11 days.
Whoa. Oh, fucking look at that. That is absolutely cooked. Yeah, I'm like, not gonna lie, I'm pretty psyched to be getting out of the city in a fucking 2 days' time. And then in a sec, it's gonna get real bad here because all these posters and stuff, I mean, normally they'll get binned. Yeah, exactly. So where are they gonna put them? They'll just fucking...
That's exciting, isn't it? Incredibly effective industrial action. Incredibly effective. Apparently it's gone for 9 more days. Yeah, I'm glad that we get to squeeze a few shows in before we all dive the fucking play.
Through watching shows, I've watched more shows this year than ever before, which has been really great. I feel like I'm just again and again learning this lesson about like neediness and not having to win the crowd immediately. Like they tell the crowd to come to them through the way they do it, you know. And
Yeah.
I think seeing people do that has been a good thing for me to see.
That's right. Thank you all for coming. I don't know if you saw, we had to turn people away as well, so that's good. You better be a good crowd. If you're not laughing, you're out. We'll get them in.
But yeah, I feel like, I mean, I'm sure other people have said similar. This festival feels totally unaffected by COVID in a way that's maybe a little scary, but also great. Like, it feels the same as it was before, which is pretty amazing.
I thought of this when I was talking to Knox, but I didn't say it to him. Over here, having COVID is like being gay in the army. It's like, don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good joke.
Yeah, our friend Reese was telling me the other night, he went into the wrong dressing room at some backstage thing the other night, and there was like 2 acrobat guys in there. And they were like, sorry, you can't come in here. And he's like, oh, is this the wrong dressing room? They're like, yeah, also we have COVID. And he was like, oh, what? Did you just find out? Or something? And they're like, no, we know. We just stay at home all day and then we come out and we do the show and then we go home.
They've probably sunk a bunch of money into it.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand the
That's
decision.
the thing. And because it is the rules over here, like you can't tut people too much. Like this is the time to harvest, I guess. Like you've got all these crops and you're not going to take a week off. If you physically feel like you can do it and you're happy to take the rest, then fucking...
Yeah.
So after COVID, it's like, I don't know if the world was ever going to be the same again. So I was like, I've got the opportunity, I can do it.
What effect did the absence of doing stand-up and not being able to come to the Fringe have on your life?
Not doing stand-up is just like you have more time to like do things that actually matter and make sense. Stand-up is stupid. So dumb, and I'm only doing this because I've invested so much time in it that if I backed out now, I'd have to kill myself.
Everything that I identified with was stripped away, like, and very specifically stand-up, you know, but then like I didn't ever go back to New York. So it's like my VHS collection, which I thought, you know, gave me personality, that's gone, you know, like all these things. So like how it affected me being gone was like, I ended up, and I'm still on this like, you know, journey or whatever, but like finding out like who I really am. But like now, because I did all this like healing I wasn't planning on doing, it's made space for comedy in a new way. And it's like changed what I even like want to do with it.
Man, that's so sick to hear you talk like that. I feel like comedians don't like talking about that kind of stuff.
Yes.
I feel like do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. I feel the same way, but when I say those things, a voice in my head goes like, you're a fucking loser thinking about yourself.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh my God. Well,
yeah.
we all we all have our own version of like whatever happened to us that gets that voice, you know? But like, I don't know, this used to be about filling the void for me. I realize that now, like, because whatever happened in my childhood, I was like, this is instant, love me, or you hate me, and then I can beat myself up. But you love me, you love me, you love me, you love me. But nobody, it's like all really within, as that sounds, it's true. I was already joking about smoking meth and like working in a sex dungeon, but that was so surface, really, if I'm like honest with myself. And now I'm like, well, you know, I'm going deeper.
Why did I work in a sex dungeon?
Why
was I smoking meth?
Yeah.
You have like a wife, right? And you have,
Oh yeah.
Do you have kids?
Yeah, 2 children.
Do they ever come up here and see you?
They have different interests.
I did a podcast with somebody where they said, all right, we've just been talking shit for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he goes, and then one of the hosts, there was a producer, one of the hosts is like, all right, well, let's start to the producer. He goes, I've been rolling this whole time. We're like, yeah, right.
Got on this bus, these 2 teenage girls got on the bus, they sat in the seat directly behind me, and one said to the other one, oh my God, if I was going bald like that guy, I'd kill myself. And the other one said, I know, I'd help you. Good start to a trip. Finding out you have a head worthy of assisted suicide. It's all right, that's a good time.
The bad stuff you can experience here is also such a great experience. See, like if you enjoy comedy and you enjoy, I love this great comedian, awesome, you can see them. You can also see somebody fucking insane be crazy, like be so insane. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? And like you can tell, like you can just go into a venue, look at all the posters and go, oh, whoever designed that's a madman. Well, I have to see that.
I didn't want it to be about my experience at the festival, but the more that we go through it, I'm like, inevitably it's going to be, you know? I mean, it is me, isn't it? I'm doing the talking. Yeah. That's true. There we go. Whoa, fucking hell, mate. You put a mic on. I've noticed with the Fringe, like, I've always knew, like, each week is different, you know, the first week and then the second week and the third week, but, like, it's not that it changes, it's just that it becomes more, like, the first week is really intense, but then the second week you're tired from the first week, so it's, like, more intense, and then the third week, it's even more intense, and all the spots that you're still doing, and you're also like, it's coming to the end, so I want to wring the last little bit of whatever I'm trying to get out of this festival. And so I was feeling like really kind of raw and emotional about that and tired, and I went on stage and I just told him, I was like, man, I said something like, I'm just a raw nerve. And I asked him, when's the last time anyone cried? I was just like, this girl, when's the last time you cried? And she was like, oh, I cried yesterday because in 2 weeks I'm leaving Edinburgh to go back to a third world country. She's from Jordan. And I was just like, oh my God, that's crazy, you know? And I was just like, and here's me, you know, I feel like I'm gonna cry because I'm like, I'm doing my dream 5 times a day and like, I'm sad. And she's like going back to a fucking war-torn country. That's interesting. Last night I did Shaggers and I was like, man, I'm going to I was just bored of my material. So I was like, asked my friend, like, give me a prompt about sex and I'll go on and talk about that. But I went on and I told them, I have jokes, but I don't want to do them. And then that made me come off like an asshole because they're like, do your jokes then. And then I did them, but they didn't like me, so I bombed.
I did one where I was asking people their shoe size because I was so fucking bored.
That's so funny. Just do that. You're here to do a show.
Do
right?
something.
Do something.
Do a show.
And you're like, no.
I'm bored. I'm gonna do this.
What do you guys reckon about the way I'm perched on this speaker? Does it look like I'm about to launch into a bit of material? I'll give you a little tip. I'm not.
I've just done a set, a pick of the Fringe. I didn't do any jokes. I was talking about what socks people have on.
I like your socks, man. That's sick. Do you take pride in those? An interesting sound just came out of your mouth. That doesn't make any sense.
And some lady, and I was being a bit of a dick, and some lady took her sock off and gave it to me and said, what does that say?
What does it say? Be kind or shut up.
Look at the best heckle I've ever had. In 11 years of comedy, easily the best heckle I've ever had.
Should we try? Oh, that's awesome. Fuck yes, man. This is what I wanted to do today.
Oh my God, I get that completely. You swapped socks with an audience member. That is so you, and that's so like me to love that. Oh, you beauty.
Yeah,
that's the
good.
stuff we live for, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing about it, right? You're either that type of person or you're not. And it's not wrong to be another type of person, but that's the type of person I am. So when I find my kindred spirit, that gives me the energy to keep going. And don't get me wrong, I'll be bawling into my beer tomorrow night. I'll be missing it, I'll be hating it, I'll be reminiscing about it, but I'll be back next year and the year after that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Even when like I'm knackered now and I'm saying to people 3 days left, and I'm like, I can't do this any longer. However, at the same time, I'm deeply sad that it's coming to an end.
Yeah, man.
It's a really like nice experience. It's really magical. It's something we should all do, like as an artist, like at least once.
I keep coming back because, like, this is heroin for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when it goes well, you know.
Yeah.
It's second to none.
It's an addiction. It's toxic. It's horrible. It plays with your emotions, and it's the best experience I've ever had in my life. It is like fucking heroin, crack cocaine, and everything mixed together, and it just goes straight in the veins. Oh yes.
Well, I reckon that's it from me, guys. You've been absolutely a pack of pathetic fucking cunts, and I hope to never see you ever again.
I feel like I need some sort of event to purge it, you know? Or just something to hold up and cry at. There's something just to be like, that's it, you know?
Swap your underpants with an audience member.
And get naked on the stage.
Absolutely.
Last gig of the Fringe.
But there's another day